What's up, Tyler's back with the retro reviews here on Tyler's retro reviews with WWE No Way Out 2005. Pretty solid pay-per-view. Final stuff before WrestleMania 21, which we will get to that in April. So the three WrestleManias, like I said, are 21, 22, and 23. So on this channel that is, but we gotta get through the rest of February, which we're gonna take a break from Ruthless Aggression content here to go to TNA in 2006 and 2011 for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, February 20th, which was a SmackDown only exclusive pay-per-view at the Mellon Arena right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So yeah. Anyways, there was, Triple H was doing his whole scheming things on the Raw side, which, why am I talking about this? Because the build towards this is if Batista's going to be going to face JBL for the WWE Championship or Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. We'll talk about that by the end of this and all that, Batista had a match with Edge on Raw, like, before this, and then they showed JBL's limousine and all that. We all know Triple H is behind all of this, and Batista says, I'm going to SmackDown all by myself. And then he was on SmackDown and stuff, and he destroyed JBL's limousine with a baseball bat. And basically, there is that. But yeah, but the main event is Big Show versus JBL in a barbed wire steel cage, because that started at the Royal Rumble, where Tay Long tells JBL, you're facing the Big Show in a barbed wire steel cage match, playa. But yeah, there was also a tournament to determine who will face the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21. And the finals came down to John Cena versus Kurt Angle, so it's basically like last year's No Way Out. 04, 05, get the ref, get it? But the only difference is Big Show's not in that match. This sounds awfully familiar. From year to year. When have I seen this before? Oh yeah, Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Roman Punk were in the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania with Seth Rollins. 1 year later, they're facing out again at WrestleMania with no Seth Rollins. And it's for a title this time around. Ain't that weird? Anyways, let's get on to No Way Out 2005. And yeah, we start for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio defeats the Basham Brothers to win the tag team titles. Eddie does his lying machine stealing to win the tag team titles with he and Rey. But this whole thing is mostly just begins the final feud between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. Because they had a match at WrestleMania 21, and Eddie turns heel after WrestleMania, and they had their final program at SummerSlam. Well, on pay-per-view, that is. Not counting that cage match on SmackDown. I think it was the first Friday Night SmackDown. But yeah. It was a fun tag team title match, and yeah, all that. Eddie tries to cheat during this match, but Ray tells him, no, we gotta win the right way. But then Eddie does the lying chain stealing at the end anyways, and there's that. Yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Good match here. Then you have, they have these like these talent SmackDown women's like things throughout the night, but I'm not going through all that. It's just a pointless segment that should have been on SmackDown. But yeah. And then you get Booker T defeating Heidenreich by disqualification. Why was Booker T being relegated to this? Heidenreich got himself disqualified. He puts Booker T back in the ring and starts pinning him. But the referee tells Referee Nick Patrick tells him you're disqualified. What a fucking moron Heinrich is. Terrible match. This is one of Booker T's worst matches he ever had. A 0. It's an ugly match. You know, it's kind of funny I'm mentioning Booker T. He's going to be part of the commentary booth in 2K26. That makes me happy. But anyways, this match was bad, though. Then we get the Cruiserweight Open for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I think it was the second one. The other one was at WrestleMania 20, which, that was 2 years ago, by the way, so there's that. Chavo Guerrero defeats Funaki, Akio, Paul London, Shannon Moore, and Spike Dudley to win the Cruiserweight title. It was an okay Cruiserweight Open, but that's that. It's just a whatever match. I give it a I give it a 6.5 out of 10. You know, this is around the time the Cruiserweights were starting to dwindle down. Not until 2006, unfortunately. Anyways, just a forgettable match. And then we get Undertaker defeating Luther Reigns. And he's not related to your current Royal Rumble winner, Roman. But this was just a filler feud. Like, Undertaker's gonna fight Randy Orton in WrestleMania 21. And Luther Reigns, I don't think he was around much longer after this. I mean, yeah, I mean, he was gone like a few months after this. It was okay. It was a 5 out of 10. I mean, just, it was what it was, but yeah. Anyways, and then we get the tournament finals to determine the number one contender for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21. Like I said, this is basically like a repeat, sort of No Way Out 2004 with John Cena and Kurt Angle in it. But the only difference in that, the Big Show was in that one. But this one, John Cena did defeat Kurt Angle to become the number one contender for the WWE Championship. And this led to John Cena, spoiler, I mean, this was like 21 years ago. John Cena will win the WWE Championship against who won the main event. Cena came out to the Pittsburgh Pirates jersey. I think it was that, but I don't really support my baseball or all that. Just, you know me, I don't care for other sports regardless. But regardless of that, hell of a match. I mean, best match on the show. And these two, I don't think John Cena and Kurt Angle ever had a bad match against each other. I mean, yeah. Yeah, there was a ref bomb. The Robinson bomb! Kurt Angle was going to use John Cena's chain, but Cena outsmarts him and gives him the FU to become the number one contender for the WWE Championship. They did it like earlier in the match, but then Angle kicked out and all that. But this time it happened here, and Cena won and becomes the number one contender for the WWE Championship. But he will not be U.S. Championship after this. But yeah. And he'll face the winner of either JBL or The Big Show. But, I mean, it was obvious that The Big Show was not going to win this match. And that's the main event, the Barbed Wire Steel Cage match for the WWE Championship. JBL did defeat The Big Show to retain the WWE Championship in this Barbed Wire Steel Cage match by escaping the cage. They have the door locked, and literally it's like no way out for JBL to get out of it. This was a fine main event. Big Show chokeslammed JBL through the fucking ring. I'm doing all this night. They're Taylor was expecting Batista to come. He was not here yet. Throughout the night until here, but we'll get to that. And Big Show chokeslammed JBL through the ring, like I said, off the top rope and all that. Then Big Show rips the chain off and opens the door. The commentators, Michael and Tash, thought Big Show won the match and the WWE Championship, but Tony Show says the winner and still WWE Champion JBL. This was the smartest way a heel could win a steel cage match. Any heel who does this, take notes, because the ring, just Big Show chokeslams JBL through the ring. And JBL, they didn't show this, and this was smart of them to do this. JBL crawled his way through that that hole in the ring, outside the cage. That's genius heel victory right there. Big Show is a bad loser, and then the rest of the cabinet comes out. And then Batista comes, beats up the cabinet, or JBL's Goon Squad. John Cena comes out, they set up their WrestleMania match, regardless of that. And they said it's going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania 21. Michael says it might be a triple threat, but then we all know the night after. By the way, the match gets a 7.5 out of 10, that was that. The night after on Raw, Batista had a choice. He either go to stay on Raw to face choice for the World Heavyweight Championship, or he'll go to SmackDown to face John Cena and Batista for the WWE Championship. Right, but Triple H was scheming through all this. We all know about this. Batista throws down the Raw contract. He does this. He does that. Does that. And he stays on Raw and face choice for the World Heavyweight Championship. Which we obviously know that's moment when Batista does this. He knows Triple H was trying to get rid of him. And they teased Batista turning babyface ever since the Survivor Series 4 build. And all that. Regardless of it, I understand. At the end of the day, no. It's not. Oh, that's probably why, because it's a SmackDown stuff, really. All in all, No Way Out 2005 was a solid show. Wasn't as great as the 4s, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I give it a 6.5 at... Yeah, a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, next week it's going to be... Finally get to talk about a TNA pay-per-view from 20 years ago, and you guys lost 2006, so there's that. But that's next week, so SmackDown will be tomorrow, and in episode 6 of United, or something like that, there's that. And we're done for tonight. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel notification bell, and also Sunday on my main show also. I'll probably do the Royal Rumble Dreamcast review also. And there. Bye-bye.